Carrie Jacobson, Marketing Artfully. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about two of the databases that I've used. I've used Office Autopilot in the past, and I'm using Infusionsoft now. I love them, love, love, love them. But what I'm going to do is show you the steps to make something like this. So this is one of our free offers on one of our websites, and so it has just a little first name, email, industry, phone. So if I was going to come in here and sign myself up, um, and I'm in marketing, of course, and there's my phone number and sign up for free. And so it's going to go to a success page, and then it's going to send me an email. Okay, so about as physically easy as you can get. So let me show you first off in Office Autopilot the system that you have to do that in. So you need to start by writing some messages. And the reason you need to write some messages is because if you don't write them as messages, they don't track the stats and things like that. So you're going to go and add a message. You're going to just say email, and you're going to type in a bunch of different messages and save them on here. And then, so you're going to have, like, say, maybe 3 or 4 messages in your autoresponder series. You can't copy them, okay? So you can't copy them from a different one. So you have to copy them, you have to write out each one and do all that. So then the next step that you would do is you would actually come in here to the Autopilot tab once you have your messages done. And you would come over to the Autopilot tab, and you're going to add a sequence, which is kind of your autoresponder, right? So you're going to say, you're going to name your sequence, and then you're going to say add an email, and you're just going to pull these down from the ones that you wrote over on the other place, and it'll populate them. You can put them in. You have all the ability to check Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, when it goes immediately. Do you want to send them, a little delayed? You can say, that you don't want stuff sent on Saturday or Sunday, whatever you want. You can also add some rules. So if you wanted to say, a short description, and you wanted to add, that they've been subscribed. If they're subscribed to a sequence, then don't let them do this. So for an example, one of our networking follow-ups says if you're not doing, if you've already gotten the first email in the sequence, then don't send them the first one, send them the second one. So this is a really nice functionality. It's in here. And it's not super hard to do, but I'm still now on the second tab. I was on messages first. Now I'm on Office Autopilot. So then I would save this sequence. So then I have to remember to go over here to admin, which is where the forms are, of course. So now you're going to make a form, and what you're going to do is you're going to say, you have your fields, and so let's see if I can get it to look. So like if I didn't want there to be any color, okay, so here's the border color. So say I want no border color, so I would say F, 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 F. Okay, so now it's going to be colorless on there, and say I want to center it. So that's not bad. So I can center it and kind of make it a little bit. The one thing I don't like is this button. I would have to, if I wanted it to be prettier, I would have to upload a button, which I could do in Photoshop and upload it, and it would be prettier. To give you an example, I just did one. Okay, we just did a button over here where I wanted to change the color of this submit button, sign up now, and then I wanted to change the color on the form button to orange, and so I'll show you how easy it is to do that. But let's go back to Office Autopilot. So now we've been to messages, and we wrote our messages, and then we went to Autopilot and we did our sequence, and then we went to admin and we made our form that we would be able to put on our website. And then I did some stuff with I had the sales thing done. So I would have to, if I actually wanted to make a sales piece of it, I would have to go also into the admin. Now, that having been said, I am not the kind of gal who is going to write all this down and keep track of this and know each time what it is and be able to go back into each one of the sequences and things like that. So this is Infusionsoft, and I named this campaign Infusionsoft because that's how I feel. So let's do this. Remember, we had to go to, let's go back. So we had to go to messages first, because sometimes I would forget and I wouldn't do messages first, and then it wouldn't track my messages. Then you have to go to autopilot, then you have to go to admin, then you have to go to sales. And that may be backwards. You may have to go to sales first and then admin, but I can't remember. All right, so doing the same thing in Infusionsoft. So I'm just going to say that this is going to be just like we did for the, that I showed you, our little, sign up for the best darn free email marketing course ever. So I'm going to say, here's my blog. It's going to come from a blog, and I want them to sign up for a newsletter, which is basically Infusionsoft talk for. I went a little form on my website. And so first name, last name, email, and this is where I was saying, if I wanted this to be big and orange, all I do is I come on here and I say background color, and I want it to be orange, and I hit save, and I want it to be, and I say okay, and I want it to have white text, and so I come up here and say I want it to have white text. Oh, that's the border. So I want this to be white. So I want that to be white. And I say save. And I say okay. 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 And I'm just messing around with it, but you would actually be able to make this. So if I want it to be bigger, I want it to be 250 by, say, 75. And I want it to be centered instead of on the left. I can do all those things right in here. The thank you page, I just set it to, you saw I had it go to my regular thank you page, my Marketing Artfully thank you page. I can send myself an email, what happened to it, and I always write this nice to myself. And then this is the code that I would just drop into my website, or I could use this version of it, and it's not going to look pretty right now, but so that's how you make your little form. So we'll put our hooky doos here. And then now I want to make some emails. So don't forget, in the other one I had to make my emails first, and remember where they were and what they were named and stuff like that. But in here I'm just going to say emails. Okay? And then you come in here, and this is going to start as soon as somebody does it. So now we're going to say do an email, and we're going to say number 1 email. Okay, and now I don't have to keep writing this email or figuring it out. I can just use one of the templates that's sitting in here. And so let's see, I'm going to say M&M. So say I want to use this one, and I say use this. It already comes in formatted and all ready to go, so all I would do is put my words here, and then change my little header diggy here, and then do this, and let's say this is it. So that one's there, and then I want to delay it, so I want to put a little delay timer and then say like send this 3 days later on a weekday. That's fine for me, and then just throw in another email. And you just keep doing that. That's exactly what you want to do. And then you would just say ready, back to campaign, and literally, so we need to make sure this one's ready. Save it. So it's mad because I'm not doing it all perfectly. But what it did was it reminded me that I hadn't set it up correctly. So that's literally how you do it. You do it all in this little interface with your little draggy droppies. I always put little notes here. I actually leave notes for myself and say, this is the follow-up sequence. Oh, and then say, because remember how I was showing you how you could put some of those other things in there, those if-then things? You can also in here say, I would also over here make a little different thing and say after they've filled out the forms, I also want to add some tags to it. So let's scooch this over. So I want to add some tags so I know where they came from. So I would just drop this over and apply a tag. Easy peasy. So I would probably put them in under M&M Monsters, Friends of M&M, and then just hit save. So literally, guys, I mean, you just sit here in this little interface and you can do all that. That took me about 3 minutes. I cannot even begin to tell you how much time I spent. Did I do my messages right? Did I do them first? Because I have to do them first, and then I go to Office Autopilot, and then I make my sequence, and then I go to the. I mean, like seriously, this is just ridiculous to try to be able to remember all these different places that you have to go. I mean, I think that Office Autopilot is really great functionality. I just am not physically capable of doing all those machinations to try to get it done, especially not when I have something like this to where if I hit publish, this would be ready to go. I could just drop this into a form. So that's why I say we Infusionsoft. All right, Tara Jacobson, Marketing Artfully.